Read between the wines, it's Mandy and Deb. Books, bold opinions, and things that we've read. Pour up a glass, spill all the tea. Dark romance or rom-com spree. Read between the wines, where every sip comes with a plot twist.
Welcome back, everyone, to Read Between the Wines with Mandy and Deb. I'm Mandy.
And I'm Deb.
Need a little drum roll there. Today, we're going to be talking about Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry, and this will be our full spoiler review. We both have our books. Isn't it beautiful?
It's gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous book.
Yeah, they did a great job. Look at that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a nice map. Yes.
I didn't look
So
at
we
the
will
map.
get into, we'll get big into, the story. We're not going to be able to touch on everything in the short amount of time that we have, but the main points. And then, of course, at the end, what we liked, what we didn't like, and will we be reading the next book, and maybe some questions that we would like to see answered if we decide to read the next book. Does that sound good?
Dun, dun, dun.
You shaking your boobs?
I got a nice tall glass of wine today, so it might happen.
What kind of wine do you have?
I got more Prosecco.
Okay.
Castello
I like
di
Prosecco.
Poggio. So
Ah, yes. I have Toasted Head Chardonnay, and I bought it because there's a bear on the front, and it reminded me of one of the monsters from the book. So that's why I bought it.
Ooh,
It's not bad.
good.
But I remember why I don't buy wine with corks in it. Because I annihilated that thing
God.
trying to open it.
Do you remember Mom used to get cork in the wine all the time?
All the time. Yeah. It must have been,
So funny.
a widespread issue because so many have gone to Twist Top.
I don't know. I feel like Mom would put the corkscrew in and she would get the cork like halfway up and then she would jiggle it around real rough. And then she'd be like, oh, it broke again.
Can't get it out fast enough.
I need my wine.
Oh, she's going to kill us.
Oh, Connie.
Well,
Love you,
hey, listen,
Mom.
Con, I just did the same thing. So it literally broke in half. The cork broke in half. And I'm looking everywhere. I don't have a stopper because I just put the screw back on the wine and put it in the fridge. So it's in the fridge covered with foil. It's so classy.
Oh
We're
God.
classy here.
I love it. Listen, at least it's not like you're sticking your head under the Boda box and just going to town. So
Yeah. Yeah. We're not funneling anything over here. Yeah.
not yet. I drink Prosecco so often that I bought one of those wine stops that it has like the latch on it to help keep like it fizzy, because I was either drinking half the bottle a night,
Right.
which isn't great all the time, or I was throwing it out. So I was like, let me just buy it.
You know what I heard?
What?
If you don't have one of those wine stoppers, if you put a fork or a spoon in the neck of the bottle and put it back in the fridge, that it keeps the fizz. Yeah. I don't know.
And then
tried
it doesn't
once.
taste like metal.
No. Well, I mean, I tried it once. I opened it one night, didn't finish it, put the spoon in, and the next day it tasted fine. But I mean, we only, let's be real, we only gave it 18 hours, guys.
Yeah, I'm very surprised because that stop that I bought, it'll keep it fresh for 4 days.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's real good.
I drag out that, bottle of wine pretty far.
We'll have to look into those. I don't drink a whole lot of Prosecco, but on occasion I do like it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we should get into the book because we've got a lot to cover with
We got a lot of
with
ground
Shield
to
of
cover.
Sparrows.
There's a lot of details. We're probably going to miss some of them. So
yeah, we'll be completely honest. This was on one read through. We did not go back and reread and notate, and this is what we gathered from our one complete read through of this book.
Right.
And yeah, like Deb said, it is fantasy. There is a lot involved. Characters, history, the way things work in this world, names. Yes, there is a lot. So are we going to be able to cover absolutely everything in like an hour? No, but we're going to give you the main parts. And if this is, like we said, full spoiler review. So if you're here, you probably have read it. You can follow along with us. If you haven't, you want to read it, come back to us after you've read it so you can see if you agree with us. If you have no interest in this book and you're just here to hang out, then we'll let you know what the book's about.
Right. Hi.
We
welcome.
read it so you don't have to. All right. So to start off, before we really get into anything, the beginning of this book is very heavy on the history. So we need to know that so everything makes sense. So story takes place on the continent of Calandra. I say Calandra like in New Jersey. Is that how you pronounce it? You did the audio, Deb. Is it Calandra or Calandra?
I think we're going to fight. I think it's going to be our first camera fight. Because
so how do you pronounce it?
I call it Calandras, and I called it Calandras in New Jersey, too.
Shut up. We're not even talking about the book right now. We're talking about, we're going to have some words. It's Calandras.
It's Calandra. It's Calandras. Oh. Wait. Taylor Hammer pork roll.
Oh, come on. We've already had this conversation.
I got to make sure.
It's Taylor Ham. But what's the continent called? You listen to the audio. How does the audio pronounce is it Calandra or Calandra?
It's Calandra, but I call it Calandra.
Okay. All right. Well, Deb's dumb. So.
Shut up.
I'm kidding. All right. So the continent of Calandra is separated into 5 other kingdoms. Now, there are gods. There are many gods. They have put on this continent monsters, and I guess it's to kind of keep the human population in check. So
natural selection.
Yeah, I guess. So, I mean, like we have like regular animals like lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! But like these are like jacked up versions of those animals. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like they took super soldier serum from Captain America.
Yeah. I have to say the way that Devney Perry did the monsters in this book was excellent. Like,
yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah. Well, the big baddie of all the monsters is the Crux. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Crux, I kind of see it as like a massive hawk, eagle,
bird type thing.
Big ass bird, basically. Okay. And every few decades, the Crux migrate over the continent of Calandra, and on their journey, they cause massive destruction, death. They're ruining villages. It's a whole thing. Like they prepare for decades for this to happen. The people that live on this continent. And then, of course, as kingdoms and fantasy books usually do, we always have like the threat of war between the kingdoms. So what they've done in this particular continent is they have created the Shield of Sparrows, hence the name of the book.
Right.
So now what the Shield of Sparrows does is every royal family within the kingdom, when an heir becomes of age, they are married off to another heir of another kingdom to prevent the kingdoms from warring, invading, and things like that.
Right.
So the first daughter to be offered was,
yes,
keeping the peace. That's what we're trying to do. And it seems to have worked up until this point.
Right.
So the first daughter that was married off, her name was Sparrow. That's why it is just now called the Shield of Sparrows. Okay. So after all of that knowledge of what the monsters are, kind of what the history is, our story begins. We meet our female main character, Odessa. She is the daughter of the king of Quentis, which is a ocean sea kingdom. Pretty much everything is on the coast. Odessa has not been chosen to be the Sparrow. Rather, her half-sister May has been chosen, and she has been preparing her entire life to be married off to another kingdom and becoming the queen or princess of another kingdom. And she is set to be married to the Prince of Turah. We're all good? We're all good. Okay.
Buckle up, everyone. It gets a little rocky from here.
Yeah, it's a lot of info in the very beginning.
So
a lot to download. Okay, so Odessa's already engaged to another man, Banner. He is like a soldier in her father's court.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just kind of like a rando at this point in the story.
It's like her dad was like, well, we got to give her somebody.
Yeah.
It felt like I felt kind of bad for her. I was kind of like, oh,
I did too.
Stinks.
I did too. And I'll get into my feelings on Odessa throughout the story, probably at the end. Yeah. But yeah, I did feel a little bit bad for her because there's this, the overtone is kind of like she's always been passed over with everything.
Right.
You know, she's never been a chosen one. She's never been the best. She's always getting like second to last licks, like that kind of thing. So yeah, you do feel a little bit sorry for her. But again, she doesn't want it anyway. She didn't want to be a sparrow. She doesn't want to go be a queen of another kingdom.
Right.
So she's called to a royal meeting in Quentis where she meets the Prince of Turah and his entourage. And the prince is there to collect payment for killing seven monsters. These particular monsters are marrow wheels. They're like massive eels that live in the sea. Yeah. So instead of money, the prince / guardian, that's another character that comes into play here, decide that we don't want to take money from Quentis. We want Odessa as the Sparrow instead.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
They were like, screw May. We don't want her. We want this one. And she was like, what?
Yeah. She's like, me? Why?
Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah. So a little bit more information on the Prince Xavier, again, Prince of Turah, and we also meet the Guardian. The Guardian is kind of like the prince's right-hand man, advisor, right? He what?
Mouthpiece.
Yeah, he is. Because Prince Xavier doesn't speak.
Right.
He doesn't talk. And actually, when we get to the marriage ceremony, which does happen because it has to, there are like laws in order. The chain of 7 laws comes in because they killed 7 of these monsters. He gets whatever he wants and they can't break the law. So Odessa does end up marrying Prince Xavier. And I said to you while I was reading this, because the way she describes this wedding scene is the prince is just bored out of his mind. And I'm like, all I can think of is the scene from Spaceballs with Prince Valium. Like falling asleep at the altar. Oh. Yeah. Come back.
Oh, God.
That's all I could think of.
What a good movie.
Oh, fantastic movie. But anyway,
We digress.
We digress. So we find out that May has been training and been preparing to be the Sparrow for so long because her father really wants her to go and be a spy in Turah.
Right.
We really don't know exactly what he wants. He just knows that he wants to know where their capital is, Alisaria, and he wants to know what's there. Right?
Nosy
Am I missing
Nelly.
anything? Yeah.
No.
So we don't
Right on
know
the
why
money.
he wants to know this. And Odessa doesn't know why either. All she knows is like, okay, I literally have like 2 hours to prepare to be the new Sparrow / spy
Right.
for my father.
And her
I need to
dad.
collect information. Yeah.
Right. And her dad's like, you got to do this and this and this, and you better be sketching and you better be doing and you better be getting this information. And she's just like, what? God, help me.
I know.
Poor girl.
So we don't know what he's looking for.
Sneaky, sneaky.
I know. So they end up getting married. Again, the prince doesn't say anything at the marriage ceremony.
Right.
Actually, the guardian speaks for him at the ceremony, which will come into play later.
Sure will.
And they set off for their very long journey across the sea that takes them to Turah.
Yeah.
So that's really all just the beginning of this book.
Yeah. Yeah. And they are at sea for quite some time.
A long time.
I think they're at sea for at least like, I don't know, 10 chapters or something like that.
It's a very long time that they're on this journey. And that is where, and again, we'll get into this at the end. This is where I start to feel like the book was getting a little bit repetitive. We're waking up every morning. We're still on the boat. Like,
we decided to wear pants and not a dress, and then our handmaidens had a moment.
Yes. So, while she's on the boat to Turah, she does end up speaking with Prince Xavier, and he's, not a man of words.
No,
not a man of any words.
Simple man.
He is a very simple guy, but the guardian talks to her a lot.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
Sure does.
And then once we finish our journey on the boat, then we get to Turah. And Odessa thinks that she is going to be going to Alisaria, which is their hidden kingdom. And no, she finds out that she is not going there. It's pretty safe to say that the prince and the guardian do not trust her at this point. Which kind of like begs the question, like, well, why did you want her here then? We still don't really understand why she's here. But she's not going to Alisaria. She's going to Treow, which is another village within Turah. It sounds pretty cool. They all live in tree houses and everything is very high off the ground.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And actually, I believe that is what the picture you're going to see in the front of the book. That's, supposed to be Treow here. Looks very mystical and very, very very
that
pretty.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So she's asking questions about Alisaria. Nobody is answering her. Nobody is, she's kind of at the point like, does this place even exist?
Right.
We don't know because nobody will talk to her about it. We spend a lot of time in Treow, this village. And again, this is kind of where I felt like the story was getting a little bit repetitive. She trained.
This is kind of where I started getting like, what are we doing? Why are we here?
Yes.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm starting to get a little scared. This book was so hyped. Everybody loved it. I was kind of like, when's it going to get good?
Yeah. No, I agree. I felt like the time in Treow, while cool, like when we first got there, and I was like, oh, this is like really neat. I feel like we spent a lot of time there and a lot. And it was kind of just the same. Like she wakes up, she goes to train because what she had said to the guardian was she says, I want a sword. I want to learn how to fight. And he has been the one who has decided to train her. So it's a lot of that over and over. And I understand why You're seeing that she is coming into her own a little bit and getting stronger. I understand that. I don't know. I just felt like we spent a little bit too much time there.
Yeah. I felt like she could have had a little bit more. I feel like there should have just been like that moment of, I don't know, like that third act, like revelation type of situation where it's like this big moment happens and that's really all she needed.
Right. I mean, we do find out information sprinkled into the middle of this book, but nothing is just like bam, like craziness.
And I can appreciate that a lot because a lot of people, when they're reading a book like this, are probably like taking a mental note, like, oh, this might come into play. There were a couple of times where you and I, when we were reading this, we were going back and forth and we were like, you know, who's this? What?
Right.
I don't know if this is who he really says he is.
Right.
And then there was a couple of other times where we were like, this keeps coming up.
This keeps coming up.
But I feel like there are so many other details that I didn't pick up on that, like, at the end, I was kind of like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm sure there were tons of things that we totally just flew right over.
Yeah. So, like, sometimes I prefer when there is, like, maybe one or two things, like, said in there that are kind of nonchalant that end up coming, like, back to it.
Yeah.
I think I prefer it more when all of the information is given to you all at once. I feel like it just makes a much bigger impact. That's just me.
Yeah.
Because I can't pay attention to save my life sometimes.
Well, one of the things that kept coming up and that we do end up finding out about in the middle of this book is a lot of these monsters, once they're killed, they don't bleed red, they bleed green.
Right.
And we come to find out that these monsters, while there are monsters, these are like even badder than the monsters. Badder, is that a word? I don't know.
I'm not going to come after you as the grammar police.
So
You're fine.
Some of these monsters have been infected with Lysa. Lisa?
Lysa.
That's
how they said it.
That's how they say it in the audio. Okay, Lysa. Okay.
Lysa.
So, and this makes these animals just like bloodthirsty. And, you know, while there are monsters and a lot of them don't necessarily need to bother the human population so much, these ones that have been infected, they just want to kill. That is all they're interested in, is killing.
And they all seem to be very attracted to Odessa.
They
for
do.
some reason.
Yes. They seem to follow her wherever she goes.
Yeah. She just trouble.
Yeah. Something. And also one other thing about Odessa and people that seem to be attracted to her. We didn't mention this in the beginning, but they're called Vosters, and they're kind of like the priests of the realm. Yeah. And they're magic wielders, and they uphold the laws and the blood oaths and things like that. And they have magic, and Odessa seems to be the only one that is affected by their magic. Like, she can feel them in the room, like the energy buzzes and she feels pain when they're around, and nobody else seems to notice that.
Right.
And it's not a question that's answered in this book. So we're kind of still wondering why, like, who is she? Okay. Like, now it's like, okay, clearly she is somebody important.
Yeah.
So while we know that some of these monsters have Lysa, we find out that the Guardian has also been infected with this, which is what makes him such a good killer. Right? Because he's the one that ends up slaying all these monsters.
Right. He goes up against the what is it called?
A lot of them he goes up against. So these are the names of the monsters. I'll tell you right now. So there are the Tarkin. There are marrow eels. Those are the ones that live in the ocean. a grizzer, a lionwick.
The grizzer.
The grizzer, one of the
what...
bears. Yeah, like super bears. Super bears.
Super bear.
And then Barry wolves, and then of course the Crux.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the monsters that live in this continent. So we find out the Guardian has Lysa, and then we also find out something else. And I kind of thought this was going to be at the very end of the book, but this was a middle of the book revelation, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. So he's actually the Prince of Turah.
Mm-hmm. I had him pegged since like I'm talking like chapter 4. I'm like, this guy is not just some Joe Schmo mouthpiece for the prince. Right. He is somebody very important.
Yeah. So he's actually the Prince Turah. Xavier is his cousin of all people. And we were just like, okay. I didn't realize that Xavier was still going to be like his cousin. Mm-hmm. In this, I was thinking that once we found out who the Guardian was, I was like, oh my God. So like, this has just been like some peasant that they put in like nice clothes and was like, you're going to go play this part for us or you're going to die or something like that. No, it's his cousin. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family.
Well, so it's very common in that part of the world, or in this kingdom in particular, for the royal family to have body doubles until they come of age. I don't know. And honestly, I do forget. I don't know if it's because they're trying to murder them for some reason. So they have body doubles.
Probably.
The reason why the Guardian, whose real name is Ransom, the reason why he just continued on with his cousin being the body double is because he knew he had this infection. He knew that he probably was not going to be able to live out his life as the king of Turah. So he's like, why disappoint all these people? Just let everyone think that he's going to be the king, because he's the next in line to be the heir anyway.
Right. And do we say how he got infected with Lysa? Do we say that now?
I mean, we find out at the end of the book, but we can say it now.
Yeah.
It's a spoiler episode. We can say it now.
Well, I was actually, when I was reading this part, I was actually like, no fucking way. There's no way.
I was kind of like, what? Too. Yeah, so tell us.
I was completely like, holy shit. His friggin' mom infected him with it.
Well, to be fair, she thought she was coming up with what she thought would be like remedies to help make people stronger, and she inadvertently created this sickness. Yeah. The only reason why it's progressing with Ransom is because whatever the saliva of the monster has mixed with whatever she created caused this super reaction to
superhuman.
Yeah, this kind of like superhuman ability. Yeah, but eventually he knows it's just going to take over and he won't be himself anymore. Yeah.
Right. He's just going to be some rampant wild beast at some point.
Right. And it kind of, I have to say, it reminded me of Fourth Wing a little bit with Venom. But did it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit.
With the Venom. Yeah, I would agree.
A little bit. Yeah. But I mean, I think that that's probably some kind of theme in all fantasy novels. You can't say that it's, I'm not saying it's like copying or anything like that. It's not what I'm alluding to.
No.
So now that we know that Ransom is really the king, or the prince, rather, I'm sorry, of Turah, Odessa is married to Ransom. She's not married to Xavier / Dre. Dre is Xavier's real name. It's so many names. She's married to Ransom, the Guardian.
She's married to Ransom. At that wedding ceremony, when Xavier didn't say a damn word, the priest was like, do you? And Ransom was like, we do.
Yeah. Yep.
We sure do.
So Odessa like hates this guy, or she wants to hate this guy because she's heard so many terrible things about him by her father, and he dragged her away from her kingdom. Like, she doesn't like him, but she starts to get to know him in the middle of this book. She sees that he is not the monster that everybody is saying that he is. He's kind, and he has a heart. So of course, it's a romantasy. She starts to fall for him. There's some tension in the middle of this book. Yeah. What I said, I described him when I said to you, I said, I see the Guardian / Ransom if Jon Snow had swagger. That's how I see him. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of see him as a little bit more Henry Cavill in The Witcher.
Okay. I didn't watch The Witcher. Go figure. I don't watch anything.
You should. You should watch The Witcher. You want to like swoon? That is a good show to watch.
I don't know. I thought my Jon Snow with the swag, because Jon Snow has no swagger. But if he did, that's how I saw him.
Yeah. No, that's a very good one. I imagine Guardian a little bit more like buff and macho.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Especially with, I think when I made that connection, we hadn't gotten to a lot of like the monster slaying at that point. So, okay, you're right. I might change my answer. But finally.
And now she's going to go watch Witcher.
Yeah. I think I tried watching it and I was like, I'm bored. I'm the worst, guys.
I did get a little bored too. I did. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. But Henry Cavill's very nice to look at.
Well,
poor Gary.
Speaking of poor Gary, we have to have our 5-second every episode. Poor Gary.
Poor Gary.
Well, finally, after this so what we just told you, that's really like all you're getting. And some of what we told you is at the end of the book. That's really all you get in the middle of this book. But finally, after knowing this was a romantasy and waiting like 75% of the book, we finally get some action.
God. Oh my God. What did I say to you? I swear. I was like, I'm on page 200 and something and not a single mention of a peen anywhere.
No.
Not a single wiener in sight.
Nope. Oh, we finally got it. About like 75%.
Devney Perry made us work for it.
Yeah, she did. And listen, I'm not mad about it. I'm really not. Like, I really did like this book. I did. We'll get to things that I didn't soon, but I did enjoy it very much. So, yeah. We're pretty much at the end now, and the end's insane.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
All of the action happens in the last 3 chapters.
Yeah. There's a couple instances in the beginning, a couple in the middle where there are monsters that come and there has to be, there's confrontation and there's killing and things like that. But it's kind of just what you expect to be there. The end is bananas.
Bananas.
Yeah. BANANAS, bananas.
Bananas.
Crazy. So we already know that Ransom's mother, who she's estranged from the king, she booked it because she was never in love with him anyway. So he tried to kill her. Okay. The king tried to kill her. So she's like, I'm out.
Yeah. What a douche.
So she leaves. She's been with Ransom / the Guardian for, most of this time. And we get to the end and the king shows up to where everyone is.
Yeah.
And shit just goes downhill.
Wild.
You think there's going to be this massive confrontation with the king and the soldiers, and then Banner's back.
Nay.
Yeah, Banner's back. Odessa's fiance from the beginning, where she's like, I guess I'm not marrying you anymore. He's there for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So you think it's going to be total bloodshed, and then what happens?
Nay, nay.
Yeah. The
Here
Crocs
comes
come.
the Crocs.
Yeah. And I'm like, what?
We're like, ah! What's happening?
Yeah. And then literally, it's a bloodbath. I mean, everybody's dying, guys.
Everybody.
Everybody.
People
I'm not
are-
going to like go into specifics in case this wasn't like too much of a spoiler for you. Like I won't go into
Right.
everybody that bites it, but a lot of people are dead.
Yeah. A lot. A lot. It's
So
It's a lot.
we have to. The Crux were not supposed to come for this migration for months. Like they're still preparing. Right. They know approximately when this is supposed to happen. This was not supposed to happen now.
No.
So we need to figure out why. Is it Odessa? Is it that the monsters are so drawn to her that they're here early for some reason?
Global warming.
So, oh God.
Global warming. It's messing up their migration path.
It doesn't sound like they have like cars and trains and planes in Calandra, Deb. Not sure if that's the case.
Calandra.
Oh God, you're wrong. So anyway, the Crux comes. It's killing everybody, everything. It is causing massive destruction. Odessa's trying to save who she can. The Guardian / Ransom. He's trying to slay this beast. Finally, he finds Odessa, who they're in love now, right? He's like, you gotta go. You gotta run. You gotta get the hell out of here. So she's like, okay.
Bye, bitch.
Bye. She tries to go find her horse, and in the midst, she finds her horse, but then she also finds the Voster, and the Voster's like, you're not going there. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
And she just goes willingly.
I know. Like, what the fuck?
I'm like, you're afraid of these people. The whole book, you've been saying how much you don't like these people, but Ransom trusts them, so he must be okay. I don't know. I would have put up more of a fight.
5 minutes. I know. I would have been like, no, I'm not going with you. Go cut your fingernails.
Right. And then Ransom is left behind to kill the Crux, which he eventually does, but he gets knocked out. He's out cold until the next morning. And we find where the Crux was killed, there's not a massive bird laying in the street. It's a naked woman. And that's all she wrote. So we're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. I was like, who is this woman?
Yeah. So
like
we're left to believe that these monsters are humans that have transformed into these monsters, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's actually super friggin' cool.
It is cool, but is Ransom going to end up being one of these monsters?
I know.
Or is it just the Crux? There are so many questions. We have so many questions.
There are so many questions to be answered.
Yeah. So we gave you the quickest rundown with the most important parts that I can think we could possibly do.
No, I think you nailed it.
So what are your thoughts on this book, Deb?
I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
I think the ending did it for me, where I was like, okay, I'm sold. This is a good book. However, I feel like it took too long to get there. And that's just my personal opinion, because I'm very much somebody who you need to draw me in with like the first page, and you need to keep me drawn for the entire time. The reason why it's really good that you did most of this outline is because I like halfway through, I was like, what's this? Oh, okay. And then it's like, oof, it left for a little while. And then I was like, oh yeah, that happened. You know, like I feel like I did not retain as much information about this book as I did with, say, Fourth Wing ACOTAR, A Touch of Darkness, like something like fantasy like that.
Yeah.
Because it was so much world building with not a whole lot going on from like beginning, like in the middle. You know, we
Right.
got the main stuff out of the way in the beginning. That's to be expected. And then it was like, holy shit, like these last 3 chapters were like, whoa, like what
Yeah.
the hell? So, and that's again just my personal opinion. Were there a couple of spots like in between where I was like, oh, that's real interesting? Yes, of course. But I had a hard time staying focused with it and retaining the information, only because I felt like, not that it was dry, but it was just kind of like, it was slower.
Right.
This is a much more slower moving book than, like I said, Fourth Wing, ACOTAR, and a lot of those books. But it worked in its favor because the ending was just like, holy shit, like how am I not going to read the second book now?
Right. And I think we have to remember, go ahead.
I think if the rest of the series, because I think this is supposed to be a 3-book series, I think if the rest of the series picks up from when the Crux came and dismantled this entire town, and it just keeps rolling with it through the rest of the series, I think this is going to be like a top contender in one of my favorite series.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I agree. And I think we have to remember that a lot of the times book 1 in a series is going to be a lot of that world building. And, you know, you're not going to get that big payoff until the end, which really was what this book was. But I really enjoyed it. I did like it. My only criticism of this book, and you know this because I couldn't stop texting you about it, Odessa asks herself so many fucking rhetorical questions.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like paragraphs of questions that she asks herself. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, can we like try and like say this in a different way instead of just like 5 questions back to back to back? Where are we going? Where is this place? What is this place? Where am I ever going to come here? Is it a real place? I'm like, oh my God, like, shut up.
Well, you know what though? I feel like now that we know Odessa's nature and how she grew up and how she was just so tossed aside for so long, I think it makes sense as to why she is the way that she is. And I think having the Guardian as the person who starts training her and is really kind of showing her the ropes of everything, I think it really she starts to branch out of her own and is like, oh, like, okay, you know, like she really starts to get a grasp of who she is as a person.
She does.
In my
and she
opinion.
becomes more confident. You can definitely tell that. And I feel like that's why towards the end of this book, I was like, okay, maybe I just didn't know. Maybe the questions were still there and I just didn't notice it. But I was like, okay, she's definitely coming into her own. She's more confident. She knows between what her father wants her to do and seeing that how wrong it is, because I believe somewhere in there she learns that her father wants to invade, and she's like, no, these people are good people, you know, so she starts making her own decisions. So yes, I absolutely get it. And it's pointed out many times in the books that she asks way too many questions. Like, people tell her
everyone
that
is like, do you ever stop?
Yeah. So
like, do you just not question anything?
I get like it's there for a purpose. In the beginning, it was very frustrating for me to read all of those back to back. I get it though. So if it's there for a purpose, I understand it. I just had to get through it, and I'm through it now, so I'm okay.
Right.
But I mean, honestly, that was really my only criticism, other than the middle kind of just being like, like we're here, not too much going on. But it was good. I really liked it. I mean, it took me a little bit longer to get through this book than a lot of other books, but again, we've got a lot going on, outside of reading, so.
Right.
It just happened the way it did. And I enjoyed it. I liked it very much.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. I think I gave it 4 stars. I think I gave it a 4-star.
So since Goodreads won't let you do half stars or quarter stars, you should get on that Goodreads. I think I gave it on Goodreads 3 stars. However, I would absolutely, I want to give this like 3.75 stars because it wasn't quite a 4-star read for me. But it doesn't deserve just 3 stars. Like it came in like right below a 4-star read for me, only because I had a hard time like really getting through like the nitty gritty of we're on the boat, we're going to this place, we're on the boat, we're still going to this place. We've been on the boat for 40 days and 40 nights. Like, and I was just kind of like, are you ever going to get off the boat?
I know.
Are Jocelyn and what's her face ever going to stop throwing up on the boat?
I know. Well, you don't have to worry about one of them anymore.
I know. 2-time
Spoiler alert. Deb called that one. That one. So wait, why don't you explain that one? Because I didn't get into them at all.
Oh, first off, I got to find her name because I forget who she is because she died and she deserved to die. She did. She just friggin' did. Well, I don't know. Maybe she did deserve to die.
No, Jocelyn, she's the one that betrayed them. Brielle is the other one.
Yes. So Jocelyn and a couple of her handmaids went with her on this journey. And on this journey, while they're on the boat, Jocelyn's talking about like, oh, I had a man once and I loved him so much and he broke my heart but I still love him and everything. I was like, this bitch.
No, that's Brielle. Brielle is the one that's in love with the other guy that turns out to be Banner.
Oh shit. Yeah. That's right. See,
Jocelyn's just the 2-timer. Jocelyn is just the 2-timer. And listen, I only know that because I'm literally just looking at it right here at the character sheet. So I'm not
so while they were on the boat and like all of this is happening, I literally am texting Mandy and I'm like, one of these handmaids is going to be a 2-time and and she's like, I don't know. And then Jocelyn ends up sleeping with Xavier, which we didn't know that Xavier wasn't the prince.
I knew.
Well, okay. All right. It wasn't said yet in the book that Xavier wasn't the prince. So I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I'm glad I called that one.
You did call that one, and I was like, I don't know about that. Maybe. But
listen,
she was definitely a little 2-time a backstabber, that one.
I know a hoe when I see one.
Oh my God. Do you?
I
do. So we've established we are reading the second book, yes?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes. What do we want to know in the second book that we're probably not going to find out until the last book? But I want to know
who that nude woman was.
Yeah.
Like, Who the hell are you?
I want to
Why are you
know
naked?
where Alisaria is and if it's even real.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think I know. If it's real, I think I know where it is.
Where is it?
Should I give you
Yeah,
my...
tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, this is theories too.
So in the book, somebody says that where they were an elder at the time that they were having this conversation. They said that Alisaria was the furthest away from where they were in the kingdom of Turah, right?
Okay.
So you see if you have the book, look, a lot of the villages are built into the mountains, as you can see on the top here. Here's Turah. A lot of them are built into the mountains, besides Treow. You see this little mountain range over here, right where the crease is?
Yeah.
I think that's where it is. I bet you if I break open this book and take out the binding, it'll say Alisaria in the middle.
It'll say it right smack dab there.
I think that's where it is, if it exists.
Break my book open? No, I can't do that.
No, don't break the binding. Don't do that.
I know. All the bookies are going to come for me. No, don't break the spine.
No, do not break the spine. Oh, I do. Do you do? Well, you like hardcovers. I like to have paperbacks. Do you train your spines on your paperback books? Because I do.
Man, all my books are trophies. I listen to my books.
I know. Well, I like to read the hard, especially for fantasy. For me, I like to read a hard copy because I need to see it. Because then it's up here forever. Not forever, for the next 3 months.
I do have to say, I like that as well. I would rather read a physical copy of a fantasy book than to listen to a fantasy book, only because exactly for what you're saying, but also I feel like the stakes for like how I picture everybody and everybody's voices in my head. When does that make me sound like totally crazy? Like
no,
someone's voice in my head sounds one way, and then if I do an audiobook and it sounds completely different, I'm like, oh, this was a letdown.
Yeah.
The reason why
sense.
I did this on audio was because I knew that this was going to probably take me a while to get through if I just sat and read it.
Yeah. And we knew that we definitely wanted to
right. We wanted to do it. Right. We wanted to do an episode about this.
Right.
So
yeah.
Had to get through it at, like somewhat of a decent pace.
Yeah. No. And that's fine. I mean, I think I don't even remember what we were talking about now.
Mandy's tipsy.
I'm really not. I think it's just tired.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
other questions that I want answered. So is Alisaria even
Alessandra?
Is it even real? I want to know why the Voster are so interested in Odessa and why she's the only one that can feel their magic. And is there going to be a cure for Lysa?
Right. I also want to know who the hell Odessa is, because clearly she's someone important. Do you think the Crux could potentially be Odessa's mom?
A bird?
Well, if the naked woman laying in the middle of the street after they killed the Crux.
Well, so we know that
the Crux.
We know that Odessa's mother is dead and that the king remarried to her
dead.
Evil stepmother. Margot.
She's
not that bad. She's just annoying.
Yeah, she's kind of like she's a little insufferable.
She is, and she doesn't like talking about Odessa's mother whatsoever. So much so that she doesn't like She doesn't like
Odessa's
mom's
hair.
Yeah, because her hair
Yeah.
was very much like her mother. She makes her dye her hair. Like, that's a little insane. I mean,
Right. Just a little bit.
yeah. So she's somebody. The mother was somebody very important
Yeah.
or connected with this. So we will just have to wait and see. I haven't
Yeah.
even looked. Is there any idea when the next book is coming out? Probably not. I just figured the answer was no date, so I didn't even check.
Yeah, because this came out pretty recently, right? When did this come out? When was
This came out in like May.
May 6th. Yeah, you're right.
I know.
I would imagine next year sometime.
Yeah, I would too. Okay. Well, listen, I'm waiting on Fourth Wing. I'm waiting on Shield of Sparrows now. Are there any other series that I'm really waiting on? Not really. Right now.
Ooh, yes.
What?
Sarah J. Maas just posted that she is on the first drafts of ACOTAR 6.
Oh,
so
well, you have fun with that.
I really enjoyed the ACOTAR series. I really did. I'm having a hard time with Throne of Glass, not gonna lie.
I know, we talked about that.
Yeah, I understand that she was very young when she started Throne of Glass, so it's very different. I get it. I understand it. Well, I'm trying to power through, but I think I need to, we talked about it last episode. I think I need to wait for the dramatized adaptation to come out. And then I think I'm going to start with those because I think I will pay far more attention.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about ACOTAR yet. Maybe I'll get back there.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do a Sarah J. Maas episode and talk about, people will hate me for it, but
yeah, I mean, that is such a beloved series. And listen, I really enjoyed it. I liked ACOTAR a lot. Do I prefer it over Fourth Wing? No. I'm a dragon girly. I love dragons.
Yeah, there is no question for me. Maybe I can't answer that question honestly because I got through 2.5 books of ACOTAR and I was just like, I can't anymore. If I read the word mate one more time, I'm going to throw this book out the fucking window. I can't take it anymore.
Listen, and I can understand that. Mate is pretty repetitive. I will say ACOTAR by far has one of my favorite character redemptions in it of all time. And that's Nesta.
Oh, she's the pain in the ass sister, right?
Oh my God. But A Court of Silver Flames. Oh my God.
Maybe. All right. Put it on the maybe tab.
I think I did ACOTAR for the dramatized adaptation because Audible had them on a sale. They were cheap, like cheap.
Yeah.
I think you would enjoy the dramatized adaptation.
Okay. We'll think about it. We got a lot of other stuff to get to, though.
Yes, we do. Like Megan Quinn.
Ooh, and yes, speaking of Megan Quinn, since we're pretty much done with talking about Shield of Sparrows, our next episode is going to be talking about Megan Quinn and Till Summer Do Us Part. And Deb and I just cannot wait to gush about this book. Cannot freaking wait to gush about this book.
It's so good. It was good.
Fantastic. Well, we can't say it all now. We'll have to keep it, but just know that we are super, super excited to do this episode.
Yeah. So excited.
It was so good. Very good.
I loved it. Every minute of it.
Yeah, I did too. It was fantastic. We'll get into that next week. So if you like Megan Quinn, if you like some spicy rom-coms, come see us next week. Because that's what we'll be talking about. Any final thoughts to this book, Deb? Shield of Sparrows?
Covered everything.
Yeah. We got a quick run through. Spoilers, yes.
Yeah.
If you listen to this, you know how the book ends. But we still don't know how the series is going to end. So if it sounded interesting, give it a read through if you're still interested. And when the next book comes out, we'll be sure to do that one too.
You know what? I would say this book is really good. I think if you want to potentially dip your toes into some fantasy, because I think it's just it could be a really good starter for someone like, who hasn't read fantasy before, because it's not so like fairies and dragons and, like that kind of thing, because there are a lot of people out there who are like, ugh, fantasy, like, why am I going to read fantasy?
Right.
This is very good to keep it pretty close to not so completely out of the, like, I don't know. What are the words I'm trying to find? Because there are a lot of people.
It's fantasy, but it's not super high fantasy. You're going to have world building, but it's not so intimidating that you have no idea what's going on. I don't read high fantasy. Okay. I read romantasy. Right. This was easy to follow. It sounds like a lot of information, but the way it's given to you, you understand completely. And it's very easy to move through with the rest of the book. You're welcome.
Yes. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. So if you see fantasy, don't be scared of this one. You'll get through it just fine. It's not something that you're not going to be able to understand. We did. Right. All right. Well, I think that was a good episode, Deb.
Heck yeah.
And everybody, please join us next week where, again, we're going to be talking about Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. Nice little rom-com to get to the end of the summer. We'll see everybody next week.